Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gupta series in which our vassals continue their expansion of this ever-growing Indian empire of ours because of the vassals that are expanding into parts of Tibet, into the Taura Basin, even as far up as Kashgar, and even up to the Pamir Mountains, where Sogdian Buddhists live there. And speaking of Buddhism, as we said, it's growing in popularity in at least in this part of the country, and there especially. But here's the thing: Hinduism and Jainism is still strong for the south, and all that. But keep well in mind that one of our vassals is fighting against the Nazimid Empire now, which it looks like they could take him on, based on those number of forces out there currently. But I don't think it's going to go this way. But let me tell you something. Truce is about to expire very soon, so we may have to jump ahead on this. Or in fact, just fight a minor holy war just for this one area. Held by the Sultan himself. Or, you know, one of those type of the jewels. Yeah, I get it. So, get the position in the meantime. We're finally going to a war. Stories about ghosts frequently pass through a village in Mudgagiri. The locals are of two minds, unsure how to react to this. Some were terrified and believe it's best to send in holy men and women to exorcise these restless spirits. Others view this as more rational ends, seen as a blessing and opportunity to honor and say prayers to the dead, yet others say that they're all just some hallucinations by deranged individuals. Strange stories indeed. Who knows what the truth is? They believe to be cursed by local spirits. Okay, move the crown focus to Mithila. Place is getting restless. Oh! Well... I'm applauding to Samrat Padma Singh. Man, already 3 minutes into this episode. He lived his terms. So, Samrat Padma Singh has ascended to heaven at age 66. He died a natural death. Known for his wild feasts and dissolute conduct, he hardly gave any thought to spiritual matters. Padma Singh will surely pay for his sins in the afterlife. Actually, that's incorrect. That sounds like Hindu propaganda if I ever heard one. For those who didn't like him for being a just, great Buddhist ruler. Even though he was a bit of a lunatic, but not totally insane. He tried to quit hedonism. He was trying to learn to reject these pleasures, but now he can never fulfill that promise. Even though he was a respected commander in his formative years, former Imperial Guard, and all that. But still, we cannot forget that Padma Singh. Of all the Singh brothers, he would be the one to accomplish all these things. Despite what his brother kept telling him. We will miss Padma Singh. Padma Singh, great man he was. We will miss him. He's the one that reformed the empire into a much more imperial administration. And now, Samrat Rajat Singha. Having mastered many skills, he is sure to be admired by his subjects. Long live Samrat Rajat Singha, the future Samrat Chakravartin. Now, we know the man has a stewardship education. He was an imperial bureaucrat, so he served at a time with an imperial bureaucracy and is very proficient at numbers, at the art of government. So, Jai Ho, Samrat, Jai Ho. And because of his death, the Imperial decay has jumped up to 15. The decline of the Imperial Academy. With the Empire falling into disarray, even this shining institution falls into disuse. A strong ruler could hold it together, but now focus is diverted focus from culture to more pressing matters. It was good while it lasted. All we need is some financial aid and a lot of prestige to restore this new Imperial Academy. Now we need Imperial coordination to lower the decay a bit. But there are ways. We gotta start giving back to these people sooner or later. As we're on our way to war against them. We will have a de jure claim war of Sakala. That's what we will do. With enemy forces already over here, we can manage to dislodge him. Whoever's a powerful vassal shall have him. Well, someone I can trust. Well, there's bound to be problems in terms of realm stability. And our recent success doesn't help either. I'd like to become a skilled fighter. If you want to be a great ruler, first you gotta have a great military mind. So you must prove yourself in war first. Again, you're Birdie, you got the books, you got the weapons. And champion blood too. There are no plots against me as far as I'm concerned. No. This is a new era, and hopefully a much better era. Because I have what it takes. And since I have the virtues, I will continue the tradition. I shall join the Savaka Sangha. So that way, in future, that I'll be able to increase the diplomacy skill. And one last thing. For a man who is supposed to be attractive, that facial hair does not look attractive to me. Think of it. Classic. And compare that to the look of your grandfather and all that. Yes, in comparison. They hardly have any long hair, so you gotta have long hair. So either this mustache or that's what it'll look like. That's a look of an romanticized ideal Indian warrior at that time. Especially one who is a zealous Hindu. Buddhist, excuse me. But, hey, we're investing in the domain. We're keeping that tradition alive. I'll be willing to fight the fiercest of battles. But should I risk not taking up the Imperial coordination? I don't have the money for the coordination to make that happen. No. Or you could try to organize a smuggler operation. You know, another source of income. Get to work. So we will have an Imperial coordination after the war, and hopefully this war must not take too long. Otherwise there's bound to be problems in future. In further preparation. Fortunately, there goes the Ramayana. Meet up in Lahore. Shortly after the death of my father, Samrat Singh the Tenacious, I bought a strange piece of news. It seems that his library was raided, the only item stolen being a strange old book of Arabian origin. The two servants who were in the library at the time were found dead, though witnesses refused to describe the state of the bodies. Strange. Rather strange. Lowering the Crown Authority would disable Internal King's Peace, Complete King's Peace. Again, these were all required to create Imperial administration, and we've accomplished that. So yeah, we'll disable all these. The Jar Kingdom claim. Guess that was removed when I enacted Imperial administration at that time. But I kind of want to empower the council. We want to go back to those days. And plus, it shortens the length of law changes, which can be voted on by the council. So I'm getting more autonomy. So my father may have reformed the empire, but he wasn't able to accomplish everything in his life. But now, I have to be one to make those changes, as I'm only 18. And we'll have advisor minor titles, which is good to have again. Now it's a despotic imperial autocracy. And oh, you could go further, where everything is voted by the council. Everybody will support this. Council members may only join factions when the council discontent is another. It's still here. And a spouse empowerment, since the Empire, bring your two most loyal advisors. Unless you want powerful vassals in just to keep them happy. Definitely not this man. He's a troublemaker. Come on, Ariana, I guess. Kinsman. Now I need a loyalist. Of course. Now, what do you say if I were to set the Crown Authority backwards? Because we used to have all these great benefits, but go back a bit, we would lower the levy contributions. But the feudal vassal opinion will be slightly lower than previous. But everybody's undecided on that for whatever reason. Well, I understand your hesitation on things. Just fight this Digital Clan War while subsequently in our vassal fight for this, and then we will unite all of India this way. But keep that well in mind. To be Samrat Chakravartin, you need this amount of wealth and this amount of prestige. We're getting close to that prestige, but not the wealth. Just to please them more, I will be using my domain troops. So everybody will be headed over there. We will follow the policy of integration. It will be retained. We'll be losing a bit of money for this. Tavern is finished. They already meeting with the local leaders. I'm surprised to receive an offer for help in the war I'm involved in. This offer came in the form of levy of migrant troops based in Varanasi. It seems the migrants are grateful for the treatment received. I feel this war is their own and want to lend a hand to myself. Of course, every man must fight. Head to Lahore. We need all the help we can get. Because those Arabian troops are heading this way. There was a peasant revolt I wasn't aware of. We'll have to deal with that too. Unless someone else is going to do that. And I will do a secluded meditation in the future. And we couldn't get the smuggler operation started, unfortunately. Situation between the migrant community of Varanasi and the local population passed through a period of deep mistrust. This leads to decreased stability in the province. We get our money through Silk Road, you'll be fine. See to it. Still the Syrian province. Jawanpur is restless now. Well, let's not prolong the war. We're gathering everybody to Lahore. We'll be dealing with the enemy soon, but... oh dear. At least you hired mercenaries. That father sent you the money for it. You're a military man. I'm playing a game of military strategy. Let's see how this goes while the army continues to march. They took a river crossing. They are beaten. You got the objective. Let's focus on my duties. It is what I'm here after all. Get a little bit of karma for this. You're doing well. Even though they're bringing more allies this way to you. So be ready. Only 3 holdings to take. Once you take that objective, we're going to go down there and fight them off. Oh, no, can't do that. But I can do this. Selling an old caravan that we're not using anymore because we're not members of the Trade League. Anybody willing to pay the ransom is good. Unite with the others, the retinue. Did that deadbeat father finally die? Natural death 45. Good. You could be a very good marshal. You're not a powerful vassal, so I'll put you on that council. Oh, you're gonna remain a malcontent. Need you over here. Good. They say a benevolent spirit resides in a small forest in Sasaram. There are many stories circulating about how it has protected children that got lost in the woods at night, or how it helped the hunters defeat the dangerous predators. Let us hope it continues to protect the locals. A benevolent forest spirit. I'll be in the center. You'll be on this one. So these are the best commanders that India has to offer. Not good for sin. That'll prolong it. Right, we're coming down here. Remember, no vassal levies. Domain only. It costs us money, though. A lot of money. Don't be afraid to take a loan. Actually, you fend them off. If you win one more time, it'll be very good. Yeah, I have an idea where they're going. Thanks to his connections, Maharaja Valas and my Chancellor came to me recently with an idea to reinforce our troops with foreign recruits. The plan is to send an envoy asking for help from his acquaintance, Pagal Tokama. To check what she's doing, she's gonna help us. Go ahead with the plan. See what you can do. Throw that man in the den. Because you may never know, there's a chance that he has to pay the ransom. Standard procedure. Anybody who's accused of an apostate will be put in the dungeon, and then they'll have to pay the ransom. Cannot be there for the coordination ceremony. See that? Just as I suspected. We will meet them over here. 3, 2, 1. Go. We'll take the river crossing penalty, but we don't care. Crud, they're turning around now. At the same time, the crusade for Jerusalem begins. They must not escape. Hey, guess what? You're going back to there, and you will be in prison, and you're gonna have to pay the penalty. We'll be able to catch him in Kabul. We fire up the mountains. My dear Chancellor's returned from his meeting with Pagal Tokama. Tulkama? Whoever proposes to receive a host of soldiers in return for payment. Oh god, how much? 60. Okay. Accept. It is only Bhagavati who's Imperial bureaucrat rather than Imperial guard. This war, this opportunity to prove my mettle in combat has opened my eyes to my true potentials of war. My combat skills are improving. May the perfected ones guide my heart, hand, and steel. I learned many lessons from this battle, aside from the application of theoretical tactics my mentors taught me as a boy. I learned to deftly isolate an opponent in the thick of the front. I bring all my focus, concentration to bear upon him. Then, within but a few rounds of melee, I swiftly execute him. I'm proud of my clear progression to a greater warrior. Still, I have more lessons to learn. Continued my advancement. In fact, we might kill him with 2 stones of 1 bird, because they're about to take Stratavante and we will take this territory. India will be fully united. In fact, I will not do a coronation ceremony until I am proclaimed Samrat Chakravartin. I'm willing to risk it all. Who's the siege master that we have in the army? Nobody, huh? Look, more of them. Okay, turn back. Head down south. Cannot be there for your coordination. They bought some more friends. Glad that we have a mixture of levies, migrant troops, and our retinue. That is with us. We have got it. 1 more territory remains. We have it. We have the objective, but we need to defeat the army again and again. I'm not a loyalist. My father did predict that I would be Samrat Chakravartin one day, but nobody knew it then. Hot-blooded. You knew a lot about desert warfare. Perfect. And I cannot be there for your own coordination. All these little forces are rising up because there's a revolt. There's a sultanate. Oh, there's this one. Migrants and Gaia are organizing raids that target our province. Destabilize the economy, causing much destruction. You got migrants too? Aye. How dare you? Take control of your populace, alright? Exterminate innocents. What kind of a man are you? If I was you, I would revoke you right now. But all my Hindu subjects won't like that. Turn around. Couldn't be there for you, Kinson. Now, we're heading back up this way. No? Then who was that then? Can't make up my mind on where to go. Sold a box of gems. There's your big profit. Heading to Bost. He didn't invite me. A large cistern was discovered in Mithila. It seems to have been used by ancient peoples to collect rainwater, and is still really good condition. Locals plan to refurbish and reuse it. Perhaps we can lend some funds to help them in this endeavor. The economic and social benefits will be considerable. I'll fully fund the efforts. We have the money for it. And that made me charitable. We will fight them here in the desert, but fortunately we have a man who knows the desert better than I do. And I want to have a better personal combat skill. We need to defeat their army one more time, and all of India is united. All we need now is the money to proclaim a Samrat Chakravartin. glad to host you. For the Buddha. "100% war score. Everybody return home." There was that little independent J in Rome. That was by a peasant ruler. I guess they got it back. Good. Unless we're missing something, which we may have to take a look at that in the future. Unless you want to prolong the war a little bit longer, because, you know, there's an enemy army on the way there, and they may take it back. So let's get to it. I could end this right now, but I'd rather fight some more. Courtier. But you're married. But I cannot deny you are pretty good looking. What say you if I can just, you know, get rid of this goof? Hasn't had children yet. I'm tempted, you know. I mean, I could make a move, but gee, I don't know. Already you're thinking about love, but the most important thing right now is the motherland. So no, forget about it. And of course I will lower that crown authority when that time is appropriate. Don't. You need that prestige to lower Imperial decay subsequently. I'm all for prolonging the war because it's for the combat skill I'm trying to work on. You'll do fine. We're gonna get rid of them, reclaim those territories, and then we'll have everlasting peace. May never know that I'll be the next Ashoka the Great, except done better. I will remember this battle in its finest detail till the end of my days. The art had guided my sword into the hearts of countless number of my foes, raising cheers and battle cries from my surrounding men as I cut a path through the enemy. My master of personal combat's come a long way. Apparently I'm not the only one who thinks so. I am now renowned as a skilled fighter. Damn right. Doesn't say anything about becoming a formidable fighter. But I'll think about getting married in future as well. These migrants need to calm down after this war. Oh, that's the man here. But unfortunately he cannot pay. But I'll be willing to put you under house arrest till you make all that money again. Now retake this area. We got it. We've weakened them enough. So that way they'll be vulnerable in future. This land is yours. Sakala. Sakala. I don't know why it doesn't say Sakala. It's the dual part of Punjab. Completely controls India. Okay, what are we missing here? What are we missing to be exact? We have all those areas. Although, don't look at the Tibet parts. I'm just trying to look all over. What are we missing? As I'm looking at the northern and eastern fringes. They start directly under me. There's gotta be holdings around here. Check. There might be independent holdings in here somewhere. They'll have to deal with in future. Pay close attention to every part of India. I don't want this land, you hold it. It is part of it. Aha. Get out of here. Just destroyed the title of the Emirate of Trigata. Well, you're out of here. Still does not say complete controls India. But soon you'll have the wealth. Now please, take Sakala. It's your land. We gotta pay attention to every part of it. What are we missing? I should disband so I can start getting that money again. Because it's rather precarious right now. You were a domain overseer back there? Well, I put you under house arrest, so try to give you a go-ahead. Oh, God. Wasn't there a part that was, you know, yeah, it's gonna be hard to look at every single part of it. Again, these up there do not count. Down in the south. Rajasthan, my title. it's gonna be hard to figure this out, so that could be problematic in future. But nonetheless, we'll figure this out until we see things further. I mean, these areas do not count, I believe. Because again, read this one more time. Yes, it's one of these must be true. Samrat of Rajasthan, that's what I am. But the problem is, completely controls the India. When they say the Indian subcontinent, they mean all these parts that you're part of the empire. And yes, we even hold that too. So this means there's a holding out there that we're missing. We're missing one. Somewhere. Wouldn't be surprised if it's from the west. But you wouldn't know it unless you see the little symbol like this, for example. But at least these smaller realms out there now we can handle. Yeah. Stick around. You want more combat skill increase? Well then, how about we fight to get the rest of Kashmir as it was, you know, part of India as a whole. Turn around. Perhaps I should save up money for the upcoming coordination. Oh, this looked. As stated before, I think we're missing one. Aha! Found it. It was this one. Get the locals. It's Dara. Hold it right there. Stay there. Besiege this area. While at the same time, I like to grab a bit of Kashmir and CK2. One moment, please. There'll be 2 wars in which to fight. A minor holy war. Wait a minute, you are what? Currently revolting against his liege. Does it really matter? Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Come here, take a few holdings, and then that's it. Now get the locals. Stay there. It was that city. I just missed that. India will be united. Anybody want to pay? No? Shouldn't take long. Again, sorry Maharaj, this is temporary. It's just to get that city. That's one holding from there. No. The death of several important officials in Mithil around the same time has thrown the region to a bit of chaos. Given the difficulties in securing reliable replacements for several positions at the same time, this will likely cause some disruptions in the local to the local administration, but hopefully it will be brief. So this one is for 5 years, and this one is 3 years. Thankfully, I've prepared some contingency plans. We're about to have that city. Now what do you say? All of India is complete control. Need to be at peace and need to have the money. Let's go now. Meanwhile, I'm willing to lower the Crown Authority because I made that promise. That's for all of you. But as for council power, I'll do that too. I'm willing to give it back to the people. But soon we need to loot more of the areas, sell more things, to save up the money for the upcoming coronation ceremony as the Emperor of India. Couldn't pay. Of course, a minor holy war, you make people of the other faiths be vassalized. You have the money for an Imperial coronation, but nope. Not until I'm Chakravarti. And it doesn't stop here. There's 2 holdings to go. Another minor holy war. As I said, the conquests don't stop here. They're calming down now. Now you have the money. Wait till we're at peace. Cursed infidels. Otherwise I would say congratulations. Oh my goodness, severe winter. No wonder why it's killing us. Migrants are split. Okay. So they settled the neighbor province. Varanasi's got a large migration now. Javanpur's got a small migration. Now you gotta deal with them. Man, this retinue is going to take a while to recover once it gets back to Muggad, back to its original post. Because apparently this is the worst place to be fighting in. Someone tells me of a king in a faraway land who was cruel, yet fair in his dealings. Once he hired an engineer to create the largest labyrinth the world has ever known. The guilty of the worst crimes are put into maze of tunnels and hallways, with almost none escape. There's always a few who have the wits and tenacity, and the king grants these few their freedom. A strange ruler. Such unnecessary and outlandish methods. Didn't pick up a trait. One more holding to go. I fear the worst. But let me tell you, you must protect me at all times, little man, because you know what to do. You're an Imperial courtier, you know how everything works. There may be a plot to kill me somewhere. And if someone did manage to kill me, I'll never be Chakravartin. I think I know who. You. Dang it, man. You really want to personally kill her? And then again, who's going to stop me? I'm going to have to ask her to have a private conversation with me right here, right now. She declined my invitation. There may be rumors that someone's trying to kill me. In my studies of warfare, I've come to realize that clever tactics on the battlefield is only part of the story. There are other disciplines of equal importance. Men fight, but Brahma decides who wins. One of the best leadership traits to have in practical combat. A holy warrior, because he's got that zealous trait. That's how you get it. A Buddhist holy warrior he is now. We have it. You're also my new liege. Alright, get him back over here. Let's get to here just for this occasion. If I die, remember, you're going to be the man in charge. You're not going to be as skilled, but hopefully you feel well. We do have a physician. And I trust this man. So does well. Okay, so it'll cost you this much, but now you'll be proclaimed. It'll give you a lot of prestige to your name. And before we do that, let's just check a few things before we'll get here. Do not forget to go to meditation when you're done with all of this. One sec. Okay. Man, I would love to revoke you out of here. Must be a direct vassal. He is. That I could kick you out. And I do not recall I have any boon vassals with me. Just want him out of my sight. And I may give it to him. Or someone else who may need that piece of land. Like you. Even though they call you the monster because of that cruel trait of yours. Don't worry about those raiders. You know what? Get him out. I know what day. Yes. Here's it deeply. I don't think you want to get rid of that war focus just yet with these dangerous factions you got around here. It's that man. He's envious. As well as all these other things. And no indication of a plot against me, but there's a rumor of that. But I'm wary, so there's some plot power defense of me. They dislike me because I'm a zealous Buddhist. But I tell you what, I'm gonna look something up real quick. Slow it down. Quick. Also, you should get rid of these raiders while you're at it. Should go out in combat and fight against them. I'm only saving up my money for a good reason. Hang on. Today's August 14th, right? Actually, it's the 15th. Okay, tomorrow then. I will take command of these troops in a bit. Be right back. It'll be on this very day, August 15th. And by the way, August 15th is, you know, the day that, you know, independence from the United Kingdom. I mean, there's two of them. Dominion of India was created in August 15th, 1947. And the Republic of India was proclaimed on January 26, 1950. So that's why we decide on this very day of August 15th to be the day that will be proclaimed the Samrat Chakravartin. Again, an Indian ruler who manages to emulate Ashoka the Great and unite all the lands of India under his rule may claim the title of Samrat Chakravartin, Emperor of Emperors. This title embodies the concept of the ideal and universal world ruler in Indian tradition. Claiming it is a hard task, but living up to it may be even harder. And because of this, a bunch of gold will be spent, in which the Imperial coronation will have to wait a little bit longer. The Empire of India will now exist. The Gupta Empire title, the Empire of Rajasthan, will be forfeit. The titles of Bengal Empire, Deccan Empire will no longer exist. And for a young man, at age 21, he'll be known as the Magnificent and will be a founder of this bloodline. So there you have it. He is Samrat Chakravartin Rajat Singha the Magnificent, a Buddhist Samrat Chakravartin. Compare that to the previous Indian series that I did in CK2 with Chola, where I became Samrat Chakravartin as a Hindu, and I did the same in Crusader Kings 3, became Chakravarti as a Vaishnavite Hindu. But now, here it is. The blood of Rajat Singha the Magnificent, the legendary Samrat Chakravartin, uniter of all of India. So revolt risk will be lowered a bit, monthly karma up. Hindus, Jains, and Buddhists will respect him a little more. Give that man the proper respect he deserves. So yeah, we had great rulers from Raja Ganesha to Rajat Singha. But now, let's go kick some raider ass. But the coronation ceremony will have to wait a bit. Hang on. Take that off. I'm gonna get reinforced shortly from Attila. There you go. Bolster it a bit. I am Samrat Chakravartin, but I have not properly coordinated. Yet. But there will be a time. That day will be coming very soon. And it looks like they've calmed down now. Good. Highly suspicious, convicted apostate. Yeah, he is, definitely. But I need the money for the coordination ceremony, so... give it here. Now, would you like to... It would be appropriate if we ever go one more war and then form the Chosen Shoka Holy Order or whatnot. Oh, and of course, I must get married. Of course. Who would it be? Because what I need is someone with a lot of intrigue. That's someone I can trust. That can protect me. As long as they're level-headed, of course. Thinking. Or someone to even it. And plus I do need another commander. It'll be you. Well, there's a problem. Those Hindus aren't gonna like it if they see me marry someone that's outside of caste, but as us Buddhists, we're not bound by caste, but those Hindus will very, very much mind it. You could have been the one, but... particularly someone with even skilled, so... You don't have a lot of traits. You're just only diligent, that's the only thing you're only known for. Also, you're delicate, so... Oh. Okay, how about someone with diplomacy? Who is of the right age. And of good traits. If not, then I will find a woman for myself. Or continue the tradition by marrying some Assamese girl. Because you know how the Assamese have this, whatchamacall, this higher general opinion, because they're nice ones. Yeah, marry somebody who's lesser, basically. Of course. Hair-lipped, evil person. Okay. Is there anyone here that has... Although this may sound like a stupid idea. Is anyone an assassin? I'm looking for a woman who is not married. No. Okay. It's a stupid idea. I was just looking for anyone with a degree of intrigue that is very good. Regardless of faith. Also not landed. Check the age again. Start from 14. And depending on what their education is going to be. And particularly good skilled. Live for the sword. That means celibate. She's a Masha. Hindu. Shaktis. There's a bunch of Shaktiist women I see. So I found my choice, but I'm going to keep looking. Some are nuns. I could see that. Yeah, another nun. In fact, she lives here. In fact. No, don't marry a drunk. It'll be very bad. Okay. I'm gonna sell it with her. She already has a son, but her husband died of pneumonia 3 years ago. So I'll have you. You know, you're Hindustani. I'll take that bit of prestige hit. Yes, it's someone less notable. Okay, now. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. We've stalled long enough. It's time for the Imperial coordination. We barely can afford all this money. What did I have to do? I already rule the Empire of India, but receiving an official Buddhist coronation will legitimize my standing to my vassals. Now it's time to begin planning what is sure to be a lavish ceremony, attended by all. Again, I've been ruling for... Well, take a look at... Okay, you've been ruling for about 3 years now. And now, 3 years later, you're finally going to be coordinated. And about to get married subsequently. Yeah, on your way. Your Imperial Majesty says you will be holding a proper Buddhist coronation. I would be pleased to offer my services and perform the ceremony. May the Buddha watch over you. Signed, Bhikkhu Rupnarayan Avadanapuri. Yeah, he lives right here. Yeah, right here in Magadh. You may perform the ceremony for me. You will have the honor to crown the Emperor, the Samrat Chakravartin of India. Karmavati is her name. She may be a Hindu, but she's a Shaktiist, which you could get children in a hurry. And yes, it is everyone's concern to get all that money, so we can have that again. See the realm prosper. Empowered spouse. A realm can hardly function, and it's up to about strong contribution from the ruler's spouse. I can delegate some of the tasks of rulership to my wife, thereby allowing me more time to focus on other tasks. I believe she will do best to focus on... I don't know, because I'm not going to get a lot of diplomacy out of you. I can get some martial out of you. I already got enough stewardship as I really needed. But plots and intrigue in the court and beyond. Because she has some degree of intrigue. And she is wary, just like me. So, there you go. To help me get protected from potential plots. Here in Patliputra, the capital of India, the capital of Bharat, the capital of Hindustan, the India coronation. I, Rajat Singha of the Gupta dynasty, and with the blessing of the Arhat, do hereby rightfully assume the crown of the Empire of India. With those words does he become Samrat Chakravartin of India in truth. With each of his vassals I am to bow before him and swear everlasting fealty. It is an impressive ceremony, led by Bhikkhu Rupnarayan, the cleansing flame. And full of pomp and circumstance, one day will write Samrat Chakravartin Rajat Singha into history. The streets of Magadh are lined with Bengali crowds cheering, with everyone straining to get a look at the important personages that pass on by and to the forthcoming feast. I've never been more proud. Imperial decay will be lowered a bit. In fact, since this is a new empire, the Imperial decay has been removed all the way. Yes. No more Imperial decay. Now I feel like I can take pride in this sort of thing. Now, with the coronation ceremony finished, the newly anointed Samrat Chakravartin Rajat Singha retired to his castle for the celebration feast. The hall is packed with people, the lords and ladies of India, their wives and husbands, visiting rulers and emissaries. It will be a night to remember. Let the festivities commence. So, I'm counting refused of the notable Maharajas. 3 Maharajas are not attending. So conspicuous in their absence is the Nigrantha. Oh, he's incapable. Understandable. Too bad he's never going to witness that there's a new emperor of India in town and all that. Too bad he cannot be there. But Neophytos, if he was to represent, he'll be here. To a degree, but it doesn't say that he's traveling or whatever. Even though he's a bit of a drunk, so what can he do? I think the reason why the Imperial Decay went away because this is a new title. The blacksmiths of Ratskanda has gained renown in recent years for the quality of their craft. This surely bodes well for their livelihoods and for the local economy. Good to hear. I'm sure you're going to need a lot of money if you're going to appoint another domain overseer. Rupnarayan, you'll be promoted here. It was bound to happen. Thakurani Hosala Devi drank too much at the coronation feast. At one point at the night to confront me, her words slurred from the drink. She argued me over to the viceroyalty of Bihar, which I hold she believes rightfully belongs to her. It caused quite a scene, reached the point where the 2 guards had to politely separate the 2 of me. Is that so? By the way, don't let that name deceive you. Viceroyalty is not a true viceroyalty. In fact, I cannot appoint a minor viceroyalty of any kind. You foolish woman. Put some respect into his name. As the coronation feast continues, I find myself infrequently in the company of Raja Jamanijaya II Drinking wine and laughing over stories why I could not have thought so initially. It seems two of me gained an excellent understanding of one another. At least I found a new friend. A way shrine in Skardu has recently gained fame for the blessings were supposedly granted those who pray at it. Pilgrims and travelers are making their way to the droves taking boons it provides. Perhaps I should visit there one day in those cold, hard mountains that really killed off the manpower of the retinue. The coronation feast finally draws to a close with the Samrat Chakravartin Rajat Singha giving a speech to those that's barely heard over the Ross's cheering. Long live the Samrat Chakravartin! Long live the Samrat Chakravartin! Samrat Chakravarti Rajat Singha Ki Jai! Let's hope so. Jai Hind! Jaya Bharata! Long live victory to India. But what else? Oh yeah, there's still time for Diwali things. Good. Samrajni Chakravartin Karmavati. Now she's an empowered spouse. That's the reason why we decided to give that administration back to that. But the crown authority still remains high, although. But still, we were able to accomplish that fact. But you love me well enough. It's good to know you want a child. Now hold it here. Here, look at the crown now. It's no similar than the two crowns I was given my grandfather. And a great-grandmother was the only female ruler of the history. But only he is India. Yes, you can see the name. It's no longer Gupta. It's India. Glad we liked it that way. The feast is over. Yes. Alright, one of the last acts that I will do for this episode to conclude the series. Gotta go meditate like a true ruler should. In solitude there is peace. So again, ladies and gentlemen, I have no intentions of continuing this series beyond that point of after becoming Samrat Chakravartin to unite all of India. Because if I continued the series on, it would have been similar to rabies. It would have been similar to the Chola series. Call my court physician. How did my mother get rabies? Treat her, please. When someone has rabies, that person's usually a dead person. Is a dead woman. She's a dead woman here. No great help of her being told, strategist, and all that. No one can ever survive rabies. But please meditate. I cannot make sense of the passage of the Buddha Vakana. The words are archaic and their meaning is deeply hidden by copious layers of symbolism. It would greatly benefit my spiritual development if I discovered the text on my own. Though at this point I would be better asking my Upadhyaya. I will figure this out on my own. I hope. I've got a good degree of knowledge, but may never know. No, thank you. In my obstinacy, I refused to ask for help. Surely I, the Samrat Chakravartin, would know enough of the Buddha Vakana to understand the meaning of Spanish. Hour upon hour I sat staring at the words, trying to make sense of them. With each interpretation I could think I felt lackluster and hollow. Oh, the wisdom of it is beyond my understanding. I failed to make sense of the passage. It happens. Just because I'm zealous to the Buddhist faith doesn't mean I know everything about what is written in the Buddha Vakana. I appreciate your support. Again, I have no intentions in continuing this series beyond this point. Still have rabies. And then, I know that Buddha was a paragon of temperance, however, I struggle to control my appetite. While in meditation, I'm supposed to eat very simple food in small portions, but I'm growing weary. I cannot concentrate when my stomach rumbles like this. I'll just do this, just like what Father did. Or was it Uncle? After midnight, I ventured to the kitchens and found something to still my hunger. Quickly found my favorite treats and proceeded to shove handfuls in my mouth. However, my binge was interrupted as a servant entered the room. As I hid in the pantry, the shame washed over me. I cannot eat anything else. Now I feel nauseated. No progress. There's another restless province around here, I recall. Jawanpur, of course. It was only a matter of time. Rest in peace, Mother. I remember him. He was the former court physician. Though not as good. But still. What else did I have in mind? Yeah, it'll be too similar to the Chola series if I continue on this series a lot longer. Oh my goodness, cancer! There's still a chance we may have children this way. If she is treated right. What on earth? Blackmail my cancerous wife? No, 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 I'm above these tricks. It's a stupid, foolish way of thinking. I've spent the entire day saying mantras in deep concentration. During the first hours, noticed nothing out of the ordinary. Though at some point I lost track of the time, entered a dreamlike state. There was nothing but holy words passing through my lips, and they rang true as the sweetest music. Today my awareness is truly expanded. Here's some progress. Keep going. I'll address that. Inspire the men and they will invade hell for you. A holy war, an inspiring one. Good characteristic. You can take that off now. Let's see. What you need is carousing. A little bit more diplomacy. But, again, a star is born. Thanks to his good relations with my spouse, recently my chancellor came to me with an idea to project my spouse's image in foreign courts and among my vassals. Given a position in court, the effect could be dramatic if my spouse has what it takes to be in the spotlight. So, spouse that influence the outcome. She's not kind, she's not charitable, not temperate, not diligent, not trusting. You are just. Any diplomacy education, which she doesn't have. Oh, God. Not Grundida. She is weary. Get overshadowed by spouse. I'm Chakravarti. I'm not going to be outshined by my spouse. Where was I? So, again, today has been a day of new insights and revelations. In my seclusion, I've had plenty of time to think about my actions, my life, and my place in this world. Things I never thought about before suddenly became so clear. So yes, this series was a great success. And yeah, I'll be there too. The series was a great success, showing all these mods throughout the Gupta series. This man again. You're gonna have to pay up the money again. It's getting a bit ridiculous at this point. Hope I could do that. I get dirty hands. Well, you can't do everything, right? So we had quite a celebration at the same time meditating. Multitasker, ain't I? Hell. Sorry I couldn't be there because I'm already at somebody else's coronation ceremony. I spent the entire day saying mantras in deep concentration. During the first hours, I noticed nothing out of the ordinary, though at some point I lost track of time and entered a dreamlike state. There was nothing but holy words passing through my lips, and they rang true as the sweetest music. Today my awareness truly expanded. Again, I'm exhausted. Because honestly, I mean, the episode prior, before this one, I recorded it earlier today. This is the second episode that I've recorded this day, but this will also be the final episode of the Gupta series as well. Only because I'm ending this on my terms. And plus, notably, at least I was able to form the Empire of India much earlier than I did with Chola, which I think I formed it around the 1100s, I think. If I remember correctly in that Chola series. I'm sure I've completed my meditation despite the false starts and dead ends. Yes, sir. Alright. Trying to think. What else do I have in mind? About the future of the Crusader Kings and the Lord Master channel. I'll be fine. Well, with the Gupta series coming to a close, I saw one of my courtiers yawning. It's interesting that if one person yawns, others nearby will naturally do the same. Didn't pick up the learning. Would have been nice to know. Peace be upon you, Sotabanda Rajat. We are pleased with your progress during the time you spent in contemplative seclusion. You have taken a great step on the path of the Noble Eightfold Path. I hereby declare your mission completed. Your enemy are not. Now, Jihad for Anatolia. That's against Byzantine Empire. None of my business. I wish to become a better Buddhist. Has led me to the Noble Eightfold Path. Since I joined the Savaka Sangha, I practiced charity. Yet it was not until today I realized I was glad to let go of my personal possessions. Helping those in need is truly fulfilling. But now, one last time. Read this. It seems there have been reports of some sort of demonist, a succubus, active in parts of Chunar. According to a number of men and even a few women, this hauntingly beautiful creature attacks them at night by paralyzing them before fornicating with them in the most pleasurable yet sinful ways imaginable. The fact that most of the victims described the demon as similarly suggests might not be a mere bout of hysteria. Since I have a high learning skill, I will say, it's just a case of many common sleep terrors happening coincidentally. Above and beyond. Seems the peasants from Kutsinagara have pleaded an audience with me. I usually don't lose my valuable time with these lowly persons, but my steward, against my better judgment, insisted that I received them for once. However, principles stand. It is not fitting to my birth and station to mingle with these peasants, so I'll cancel the meeting if I already made a travel to capital. This was my enlightened decision. Because I'm proud. There's a chance the cancellation meeting included event text with local peasantries cause very bad impression with further consequences. High stewardship of helps avoiding means bad income. There you have it. Now, Chunar, please read. as it stated before. Now, again, I will conclude to that series. And yes, there's even a bit of India and Africa. Which again, had I continued on, it would have been similar to Chola. And there's no reason to do that anymore. So, and plus, I want to get my focus back towards, concluding the 2 other series of EU4 with Croatia and the Mughal Empire, the Delhi Mughal series. And then, when Crusader Kings 3 comes around with its brand new DLC, that I will be able to do start another video series and focus on that only. But I can tell you this, one thing's for certain, it's not going to be in India. I already did an Indian series last year in Crusader Kings 3. That was with Sona Yadava. If I'm going to do another one, I would rather do it around next year, in 2022. Likely somewhere in 2022. And then, and only then I will do a series on the Indians. But in the future CK3 series, it's going to be somewhere in Europe. Obviously, because, it's been a while. Although I'm not talking about Croatia, because honestly, you didn't expand much of Europe while as Croatia. Because you only went as far as parts of Italia, and then you decided to go around the world. And even into India itself. With Croatian India. What I did in that Croatian series of EU4. And, so, again, it was... Again, I'd like to thank those who created the mods that I wasn't aware of until nowadays, ever since the beginning of 2021, with the series of the various mods such as the Historical Immersion Project and the Dark Ages mod and the various Immersion Events and Tales Events mod. These 3 really go together. They make for a great series, no matter if it's in India, in the Middle East, in Europe, Lapland even, or even one of the nomadic countries up in the steppes. It really enhances the playthrough. Makes it feel realistic, not to mention challenging. As challenging the series was after playing for about 252 years. Well, you've accomplished that great big goal of uniting all of India. Although I did it 100 years earlier than how I united India as the Chola series. And maybe next time, if I were to ever do another Indian series, which of course the goal would be the same. I already became Samrat Chakravartin as a Hindu, and I became Samrat Chakravartin here as a Buddhist. Maybe next time, I should become Samrat Chakravartin as a Jain. That one would be challenging. I don't know if I should do it in Crusader Kings 3 or if I ever get moody in a future Crusader Kings 2 series, if I ever get nostalgic or something. Which probably happened like 2023 or something. I don't know. Too far away to think about. But as I stated here, willing to do another Indian series for CK3 around next year. Probably like during the second half of 2022. Where I'll be far away to be even thinking about that. And such. And be sure to write it down. Become Chakravarti as a Jain. No matter what sect of Jain you are. And, well, I think that is all that is need to be said here. So, again, we hope you people enjoyed this series as a whole. The early episodes of Gupta was really, really great because of the characters at hand. And all this. In fact, go back to the title of Bihar in Magadh. Tikana of Magadh. Which again, although to be fair, it started in Mithila. The series started in Mithila, so go back to that one. That's where the series began. Here. So, it was Ramagupta the Wise. Back in 725, he became that since he was 5 years old. And then he abdicated to become, a monk. Raja Ganesha took over, and then he brought back his father, fight to get Bihar back. Yes, he fought to get Bihar back by having Ramagupta the Wise in 795 to be conquered as a claimant. And then only when he passed away due to severe stress, he became the Maharaja of Bihar. Magad, we alternately called it for ancient India reasons. And then he became a Jain monk and he abdicated, which started this bit of tradition where he abdicated, Rajendra Narayan became it, but he abdicated too, but he died of an infected wound when he abdicated to Chandra Sen, the cruel, who committed suicide and was given to the first female ruler, great-grandmother, Rani, the Fearless, slain in a chaotic battlefield duel. I recall, they killed each other in that one. Rajendra Narayan the Just died of depression because of harsh words that he couldn't take it. Bhairav Singh was murdered, as we know in recent episodes. That's my uncle. My father, Padma Singh, who died very early on in this episode, a natural death. And now here's Rajat Singha, Samrat Chakravartin Rajat Singha, the Magnificent, the man who truly united all of India under a proper imperial administration that is similar to the old Gupta administration back in the good old days of the Imperial Guptas. But obviously this Gupta house particularly is the late Gupta dynasty, as a reminder for you people. And so there's a little bit of history for you. And you know what, simply for the sake of it, just save this save file here just for memory's sake, that we will resign here to conclude this series, as we will go back one more time for these years for over. Again, here's a reminder. Maharaja Ramagupta the Wise, for all his years, he ruled for 19 years. Nigrantha Rajaganesha the Champion ruled for 55 years. Rajendra Narayan the Holy, 32 years. Chandrasen the Cruel, 31 years. Rani the Fearless ruled for 36 years. Rajendra Narayan the Just ruled for 44 years. Bhairav Singh Gupta ruled for 9 years, shortest. Padma Singh the Tenacious ruled for 21 years. And Samrat Chakravartin Rajat Singha the Magnificent ruled up to the present day. So out of everybody, I think by default in terms of accomplishment, Rajendra Narayan had the highest score, as he was the Samrat of the Deccan Empire, as far as recollection is concerned. So by default, Rajendra Narayan, in terms of accomplishment, was the greatest character I ever played. But to me, I think that honor goes to Raja Ganesha, because he's the, well, I think he was our own Ashoka the Great, in a sense, for that area. But a Jain version of Ashoka, where he was a Hindu for a first half of his life. Then he became cruel after he became champion, as he basically defeated his enemies in the most cruelest way. Then he began regret. Then he became a Jain and lived a Jain lifestyle. Then he abdicated to become a Jain monk, as he went to live in Rajrapa. And then he became the Nirgrantha of Jharkhand, and lived up all the way to the age of 85, the oldest member of the Gupta dynasty in our dynasty's history. So to me, he's the greatest character that I ever played for this series. But is he in my top 10 greatest characters I ever played in CK2? I don't know. Because I've done so many playthroughs, it's kind of hard to go back to, look back on all these accomplishments and all that. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed this series, that we've united all of India. But at least we did it 100 years earlier with Chola. And again, I really enjoy the experiences thanks to those mods. Most importantly, that's what this series will be notably known. It will be very notable to me of what the Gupta series meant to me as. It was notable because all these mods that I picked out, that it added more realism and difficulty, and yet we endured. As well as a little bit of comedy here and there from the various events, immersion, and Tales mod, and all that. So, I want to part with this for you Indian viewers. For India, Jai Hind, Hindustan Zindabad, victory to India, long live India. Jai Ho. We salute to the homeland. We hope you enjoyed this series as a whole. But until the next series, whenever that time may come, this is Lord Master saying, so long for now. Namaste.